Hello everyone, this is Curt, and I've got this week's update on what's new with the Ziti browser stack. In the last video, you heard me talk about upcoming updates that were going to facilitate external JWT signer integrations and how we were going to leverage that style login in the browser world. When Andrew released 0.25.4, he introduced some new concepts called authentication policies, as well as external JWT signers. We're going to be leveraging that in the browser stack as of now. You've seen this picture before, and if we bring in the external JWT signer, if you bring in an IDP, and in this demo we're going to be using auth0, then the picture changes like this. So now what happens when the browser's first request comes in and there's no indication that the browser session has been authenticated yet, HTTP agent will do what's necessary to reach out and redirect to an authentication server. Again, we're using auth0 in this particular demo. You're now looking at my IDP, my auth0 sandbox. I've created a test app out there, an abstraction of an app that I'm just calling JWT auth demo. And this is already got a couple of users registered within it. They're both me, two different email addresses, NetFoundry as well as my Beaver Creek. And one of these, the NetFoundry one, has already been brought into and registered on the Ziti network that I'm using for the demo. And the Beaver Creek one has not, and I'll demonstrate what happens when I try to log in with both of them. So like you've seen in most demos, I usually start with a fresh incognito tab. It has no cookies, no session cache, no anything, and we're going to start off by hitting the HTTP agent, which instantly redirects out to the IDP because that incoming HTTP request has none of the necessary data that proves that it's supposed to be on the Ziti network that it needs to get to. My auth0 sandbox has been configured to use Google as a federated login. So let's go ahead and do that. And we've redirected out to accounts.google.com. And I'm going to log in as me at NetFoundry. Got my creds typed in. I'm going to open up DevTools. Before I click next to log in, I want to make sure I'm on the network tab. I wanted to show you some of the traffic that happens in the new style of login. Here we go. In previous demos, when we hit the controller's authenticate endpoint, we were using a method of username password. That is no longer being done. We're now using the external JWT signer. And one of the things that you'll see coming in on the request is an authorization header with a bearer token. And this is a JWT that was signed by that external JWT and that has already been pre-registered with the Ziti network. And all the details surrounding the auth policies and the external JWT signers and how those things get brought into Ziti network out in the release notes page that I started this video with. So read that for all of the details. Now that the authentication has occurred properly, we can start grabbing the ephemeral certs, asking for services, creating sessions, and doing all the things, and eventually going out over that WebSocket to the edge router and pulling all the CSS and JavaScript and the rest of the HTML that represent the dark web app. So that's what that was a successful login for me at NetFoundry. Let's try me at Beaver Creek Condo and see what happens. So again, start with a brand new browser tab, same login screen from the IDP. Go out to Google, pick me at Beaver Creek. Just like last time, I'll open up DevTools and we'll watch the network traffic. And as you can see, we're doing the same call to the same endpoint, the same method, and we are indeed giving it a JWT. But this particular JWT, even though it's signed by the same external JWT signer, it's auth0, it's signed, everything there, the user that is represented by the contents of this JWT has not been registered with Ziti, and therefore you can't get on the network and the app does not load. So in true zero trust form, in true authenticate before connect fashion, if you are not known by both the authentication server and the Ziti network, then the browser's never going to come down through the Ziti network and even load the first page. If you are someone from our community that has watched this video, has interest in what we're doing with browZer, or has questions or comments to make about it, we'd really appreciate it if you reached out to us over on our discourse. You can find it at openziti.discourse.group. Just go ahead and type in any of your questions and comments there, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. We really appreciate your involvement. Hope you liked this video, and that's all I had to say here. So I will close, and I will see you on the next video.